Hey, before the video starts making two small corrections. One, there is a colorist for here, for the comic. For some reason I completely forgot about him while filming. So yes, my bad. And second of all, now looking at this, I had to take the picture. There was no editor credited for this. I mean, obviously someone edited this, but no one was credited for it. So, if that is the case, they just put this shit together, and that explains some things. Because you think an editor would see the pacing and like, dudes, fix this. Yeah, it is what it is. Alright, enjoy the video. Hey folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Invincible Issue 1 by Image. Now there is guns, robbery, punching, a giant dragon. Oh, and the man 100% explodes and fucking dies in this one. So if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here's our quite small team, actually. I recognize, though not immediately, Mr. Kirkman here. The writer of The Walking Dead. And creator, sorry. Yeah, once I realized that, I became a bit apprehensive. Some of you might know, I don't like The Walking Dead. Anyway, that's the team. So I've seen Invincible around over the past few years, and it was one of those comics that I want to get to one day and see what it's all about, like Saga, for instance. So then I did look online like a year or two ago for the first trade, but it was really expensive. I'm like, fuck that. Haven't looked since, really. And then, a few weeks ago, Kamikaze, showed what they'll have for order, and this is a facsimile for the first Invincible issue. So I thought, you know what, perfect. I'll read this one and see if I even want to bother. So I got it, and I finally read it yesterday. Right, let's get to something else. So oh yeah, another thing is, I know I've seen it in a lot of places, and no one never really said what the story was about. Like with Zombie Tramp, But yeah, anyway, let's get to it. Alright, so, we start the story with our main character here. His name is Mark. He's in his costume, and he's flying to Antarctica? Not Antarctica. Anyway, somewhere really cold, it's snowing, it's deserted. There's no people anywhere around, and he's carrying a gentleman who has a bomb strapped to his chest. And there's 13 seconds left on the clock. So he stops at a point and grabs takes his one arm and then just fucking throws him. And he fucking explodes. And Mark is, pushed by the explosion. Not Ricochet. Ricochets? Well, anyway, he falls into the snow, gets out. Oh, and while he's flying with him, he says, you ruined my day. And he's like, well, that's that, and then he fucks off. Now, I don't know what this comic is about yet. I mean, what kind of character Mark is, because I've only started this, but fucking hell. This is gonna be murderous or something? Okay, because I get it if that was a villain, but usually superheroes are supposed to try to save people. Even the villain. But he's like, fuck you. I mean, I get it, there was 13 seconds, sorry, not minutes, on the clock. And maybe there was no way to unstrap him from it, but fuck it, he didn't even try. It's like, there you go. Now, if that was the villain, but if that was a civilian, that's even worse. Then still, even if it's a villain, it's like, shit, man. You're not even gonna attempt? I mean, again, if there was nothing to do, fair enough, but it's just like, the fuck? Anyway, then we move on to 4 months ago. So this is, like, the present, and then we go back in time, 4 months ago. Oh yeah, but before he flies off, he says, if I keep doing this, so this will give me a heart attack. And then when we go to 4 months ago, Mark is sitting on the toilet taking a dump and reading a comic about a dog. While his mom is knocking, she thinks he's masturbating. Nice, we started with a masturbation joke. Yeah, if you keep that up, you'll have a heart attack, because she thinks he's wanking there. And he's like, Mom, I'm reading a comic. He's like, alright, get ready, you have school. And then he goes down, his mom has have a chat, like, where's Dad? He didn't come home last night? She's no. And then he asks her to turn on the TV while he's eating his toast. And then we see a newscast from Taiwan, a news broadcast from Taiwan. There's a giant, possibly mechanical dragon there. And he's attacking, terrorizing the city. And some kind of superhero named Omni-Man is protecting the people of Taiwan. And Mark's like, oh, look, Mom, there's Dad. Alright, so they know he's a superhero. Cars. The cars. So they seem to know he's a superhero. And apparently he's been fighting that thing for 10 hours. I guess he's not that strong if you can just punch through it. But then again, it is pretty big. Right, so the mom's like, oh, I hope he brings me something. I've never been to Taiwan. I love how nonchalant they are. Like, I get it, he's a superhero. He's probably fought many a things, but she's not like, oh dear, or concerned even. Oh, I hope he brings me back a souvenir. Ugh. Okay. I suppose they're all, somehow fucked up in this universe, yeah? I mean, again, it's fine. You know, she doesn't have to freak out, but she's like not even slightly worried. And the art doesn't help with their expressions, you know? We move on to school, or Mark already leaving school. A friend of his runs up to him, hey, Mark, want to go to, I don't know, some club or, not club, they're 16 probably. Want to go somewhere? And he said, I can't, I have a job at this burger place. He's like, oh yeah, sucks to be you. And then they say goodbye. I gotta tell you, the pacing here isn't really good. It's too fast. Seriously, it runs. Now, I get it doesn't have to go that slow, but it's just, you know, like, boom, 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 go, go, go. It's like we jump from one thing to the other. It's like the movie City of Ashes, where, it didn't feel like a flowing movie. It felt like they filmed scenes and then they just glued them together, like, fuck it. Same thing here, it's like, runs, you know? Yeah, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. Not the best pacing, in my opinion. Alright, what was I bitching about? Right, he goes to his job. We see him only go outside to take out the trash. He lifts up the door, the lid of the trash can. It's a huge trash can. And then he throws the garbage bag, but he throws it really hard and it's flying. And then he smiles like, yes, finally something. Then we go to his home, where him and his mom are sitting down to eat dinner. She's like, oh, well, he's not gonna arrive, so we'll start. And he's like, oh, wow, something exciting happened today. And then, whoosh, the dad whooshes in. And, they started having dinner. And then they asked him, oh, how was the fight with the dragon? He was like, the hardest part was to figure out who was controlling it, so, while trying to protect all the citizens. So, yada yada, and then they're like, and then Mark, I think I'm getting my powers. And he's like, and the mom's like, oh, that's nice, dear. Oh, the dad works as works. He's a writer. And his publisher called and asked, when are you gonna release a chapter or something? He's like, I guess I'll have to take a day off and write them a book. I hope some kind of guys can cover for him. I guess he has a team or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, he's... And then Mark tells them, oh, I think I've got my powers. And Mom's like, oh, that's nice, dear. Pass the potatoes. Again, it's like, not even any reaction, like, you're getting powers. I mean, maybe they knew he might, but, like, the dad doesn't even say something like, all right, son, we need to have the Ben talk, the Ben Parker talk. With great power comes great responsibility. Nah, fuck that. Then we move on to Mark. He's on the roof of the house outside, and he's like, I want to see if I can fly. Dad says it's like a reflex. So I just need to jump, and I'll do it. And if I fall, and I'm not invincible like that, then it would hurt. I get Mark is not the sharpest knife in the collection. Dude, if you're not invincible and you fall, you might die or break your legs. He's like, oh, fuck it, I'll try. And he jumps like a moron. I mean, I know this is stupid and I'm yelling at nothing, but it's like, at least tell your dad you're gonna attempt this. Hey, Dad, I'm gonna try to fly by falling off the roof. Can you, stand down there to make sure I don't kill myself with my own idiocy? Sure thing, son. Let me just finish reading my evening paper. Well, he doesn't die. He starts flying, so that's good, I guess. And then he just flies off. And then we move on to the next scene where some two dudes that are dressed like the Men in Black, and a dude just has rock superpowers. I mean, his body's looks like he's made of rock. They're running. They stole diamonds. And they're arguing like, the police are supposed to come. We want you to stay behind to occupy the police. And then the big guy's like, hey, just because the bullets don't hurt me doesn't mean they're pleasant. Anyway, they start running and grabs both of them, and then he jumps up. And they're like, don't worry, we'll disappear. But then he gets punched by Mark. Right? Mark is in not a costume. He's wearing a... what do you call him? A bandana on his, up to his nose and some goggles and shit. And he punches the big guy, and he's like, who are you? Are you trying to rob us or stop us or what? And then Mark punches him again, and he loses consciousness. And also the rock that was on top of his body just shatters in some places. So I'm a little confused if it's just if he can just summon it on his body and then it can disappear. No idea. And then Mark turns around, and behind him there's his dad. And he's like, you're not supposed to fight yet. You had your powers for what, like a week? And Mark's like, 2 weeks, and I've just been practicing flying. I wore this outfit so no one will recognize me. And he's like, well, I don't want you to wear something that ridiculous. And he's like, come on, I know someone who can help you with this. And then they fly off. And then we go to empty department store. Well, I mean, outside it looks like a department store. So this dude, and below it, there's this dude who sews superhero costumes. And he has Mark in this outfit that's orange and yellow and shit. Not this one. A different one. He's like, well, what do you think? He's like, I'm not sure about the collars and stuff. And apparently this guy's been working with his dad for many years now. And he's like, what are all these circles on my costume? I'll show you later. I think I can, because this is from 2003. So it's been many years now. Yeah, so he's like, oh, those are to, get the sunlight, because I thought your dad's powers were based from the sun. And the dad's like, don't worry, it's a common misconception. And I'm like, is that a Superman reference or something? I think it might be. Yeah, then the dad gets a call on his beeper thingy and like, okay, I have to go. Someone's attacking the whatever. I forgot. And the dude's like, yeah, use the north hatchet. Never mind, it's already fucked off. Then Mark says, oh, I'm sorry, you get used to it after a while. And the guy's like, don't apologize. I've been working with your dad for years. And then Mark says, I want a costume that'll be iconic. And then the dude says, well, everyone wants an iconic costume, but they don't even know what that means for them. And he's like, how about this? You come up with a name for yourself, and then that'll help me make you a costume. Then we move on to the next day, and Mark's in school. There's a lesson going on. The kids don't finish their assignment or whatever it is. So the teacher tells them, well, I'll let you take it and finish it at home. Because but don't thank my sympathy with not completing this assignment. Then one kid who's a jock says, fuck that, I have football practice. And his girlfriend, maybe not girlfriend, said, but you said we'd go eat pizza. Some shit. And then then the teacher tells him, come over here, Derek, wasn't? I need to talk to you. I don't know why we had that scene, because it leads nowhere. And then we move on to Mark. He's by his locker getting a book. And the kid next to him, that has the locker next to him, is being bullied by this guy who I'm pretty sure stayed a few classes back. And Mark tells him, hey, why don't you leave him alone? And then this dude goes to him, hey, what are you getting in between here? You want something? Then he pushes Mark, but then Mark pushes him. And, Mark having superpowers that are kind of like Superman, I think. Yeah, holy shit, this whole thing feels like Superman. I mean, the power thing. And then I think it's more a lunch lady than a teacher comes in like, what's going on here? And then Mark's in the principal's office, and he's like, Mark, I'm surprised at you. You're a good student and all that, and don't get in trouble. And Mark's like, I know, sir. I need to get to a good college next year. So I think I was wrong. I think he's 17 then, and we're already talking college. He's like, yeah, I know. I commend you for trying to help the other kid and all that, but that's not your job. You have to be careful. You need to remember you're not invincible. Ooh, we got a superhero name. Mark has this, I'll show you, this vacant smile. Like his mouth is smiling, but his eyes are dead. I mean, shit, son. I need to redraw that face. Make a perfect sleep paralysis demon. It's like he's got this smile like he's taking crazy pills. The Joker would be proud. Yeah, I'm joking. He probably wouldn't. I don't know. To me, it was creepy. Then we, again, move on to bank. It looks like the people outside don't notice something's going on inside. The bank is being robbed. When the banker gives the robbers the money, is 3 of them. They run out. They go to a side street. That's where their getaway car is. They're like, come on, the police is about to arrive. But then their driver is running towards them. And they're like, hey, what's wrong? And then they're all looking shocked when they see Mark, now invincible. He's floating and he has their car in his hands. He's like, looking for this? And he's like, put it down, you freak. And one of the robbers pulls out a gun, and Mark's like, I wouldn't try that. I'm invincible. And that's where the comic ends. Right. To the art, then. I will say, I like how thick the cover is. Oh, there you go. You see there's Mark. The art style is fine. Nothing to write home about, in my opinion. And also, like, who's the artist? Corey Walker has this thing where when they change expression, he makes this weird line on one eye that makes it look like they have a scar on their faces. And it's kind of weird. Like here, you see it here, I hope. You see, like, right... I'm not gonna hold this the best. You see, like, right there. And it's always for every fucking character. You see, he just fucking throws this dude. Like, look at that. Well, I won't show you him on the toilet. Let's just, have a look at his mom. That's the mom. I mean, you don't see anything, but, you don't need to see this dude on the toilet. Alright, there's the daddy. Yeah, there's Mark. Like, you see, they get, like, that scar thing under the eye. Also, the backgrounds here are very boring as well. I mean, I get it why they use that sometimes, but it's like, look at this twat. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump. Alright. You see, there's the rock guy. The diamond thieves. And this is what Mark wore. Well done, Mark. Very inconspicuous. Also, why is he not attempting flying at night? When less people are likely to see him? I'm gonna make sure they don't recognize me by flying in daytime. Fucking hell, this dude is almost as dumb as Fate. Almost. There we go. That's his, the first costume. Yeah, not the best. The collars don't work for him. I love the goggles, though. You see, that's the dude who makes the costumes. Look, you see what I mean? It's like this line meant to represent squinting, but it looks like it's giving them a scar under the eye. Oh, look. The ink here is something. Like, look, my finger left a smudge yesterday. I was like, what the fuck? There's Mark pushing this twat into the locker. There's our lunch. Look at this face. Look at that. I don't know about you, but that's creepy. Like, yeah, you see he's smiling, but there's nothing going on behind those eyes. It's like he's taking a crazy pill. Like, shit, he's about to go on a murder spree any second. Jesus. And I'll show you the last page. You see his costume. Yeah, I showed Andrew. He says his costume looks like the image. The guy like supposed to be an Image logo. And yeah, the I for Image, but it's probably not intentional. There we go. You see, he's holding the car, and there we go. I wouldn't try that. I'm invincible. Oh, look at this one. It's actually a pretty nice art piece. You see here the art style has better textures and shit. Oh, so does he have a band-aid on him? Would that even hold in water? Yeah, so that was the art. The cover is pretty bland. I mean, the pose isn't half bad, but other than that, it's not really inspiring, shall we say. Like, you see, now I get it, it's probably this art style, but if let's say they added some white in the goggles, like a reflection, that already would have given it some more life. I mean, I'm not one to talk. What I do doesn't often have these details, but I'm just saying. Like, he added shadows, but add something to the goggles, something here. I don't know, maybe a few lines in the hair or something. But yeah, that's about it. Right, so on to the story. Like I said, the story, in my opinion, the pacing is too fast. It just, it feels like they were making sections and then they glued the sections together instead of the story going smoothly from one to another scene. But again, it could be just me. Mark himself is, well, can't really say what kind of personality he has so far. I mean, he looks like the typical teenager. He reads comics, we know that, and he is excited to be a hero like his dad or something. I don't know. It looks like he knew he was supposed to possibly get powers, so he's not shocked by that. Well, obviously the dad has told the wife and his son, or the wife knew, and then the son when he grew up also knew, so there's that. This is supposed to be like a dry sense of humor, like with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or some shit, where this crazy shit happens, but everyone acts like it's normal. Not in, I understand this bullshit, we're gonna deal with it, but in, fuck it kind of way. So, yeah, it's, I mean, it wasn't bad. I do want to know where the dad got his superpowers. Because, well, right now, Mark, we know where he got them. They were inherited. He not inherited them. They were hereditary. Is hereditary? I think hereditary is the right word. So we know that. And, well, that's it. I guess he's gonna start fighting crime like dad, but... And, I mean, how is he gonna go to college and do all this other stuff, though? Unless he's just planning to practice right now. But yeah, the dad is, well, like being a reporter. He's an author, which actually is a good cover for being a superhero. Because first of all, you don't have a day job you have to go to. You just write, and then all you have to do is make sure you shit out the chapter every now and then, and you're good, I guess. I mean, Daddy's books must be bloody good if they can afford... I mean, they don't live in a mansion, but I don't think the mom works, so... Looks like his books are selling pretty well. It'd be interesting to find out more about the dad. Then see where Mark's gonna go with all this. But yeah, so far it's... But that scene in the beginning's like... Does Mark just not give a shit? Like, fuck you. I mean, is he gonna turn out to be a bit of a psycho then? Or is this normal for them? They're like, fuck the villain. We'll let him die. I mean, I know most villains can't be saved, but... Hey, shit. What a beginning. I mean, for me to be affected by it in any way, yeah, I'm like... I read murder and the whole that, I don't care. But here it's like... The fuck? Now it's left to be seen. This is the first issue, and with this pacing, things move so fast, it's like, ugh. Like, what's going on? Yeah, the art itself is, again, nothing to write home about. It's fine enough. I do find the lines for the face done weirdly, but again, Mr. Corey has his own style. So there's that. That's just his style. Yeah, to me, just a bit weird. Background's, like I said, bland. I could have used a bit more life to it. The colors are fine. They're also quite muted, but perhaps that was the effect they were looking for. That when they created this comic. There's some colors there, so I guess Corey did the colors too. But yeah, perhaps that was the effect he wanted on this, and Kirkman agreed. Or they just didn't care. there's that possibility. But yeah, overall, it was an okay first issue. I will perhaps in the future get the first trade and see how this continues. Because the first trade is called Family Matters, so that is somewhat intriguing. And I mean, I should give this a fair chance. I will admit, when I learned Kirkman was involved, I was apprehensive, considering how The Walking Dead was for me. I was like, is this gonna have boring shit I don't care about? But that is left to be seen. And he didn't write this himself or created this himself, so perhaps this will be different, because they'll have someone else's input in as well. But that is left to be seen, and also not in the top list of reading priorities, so this will be a while before I get to it. I have other stuff to read. But yeah, overall, it was fine. If you like Mr. Kirkman's works, maybe check this out if you wanted something with superheroes instead of zombies. I don't know. And if you like... I can't really say if you like the traditional superhero, because this doesn't really seem like it in this first issue. And I mean, Sally would get much personality from this kid. I tried to compare it to the nightclub with Danny, where we kind of get the hang of how Danny is as a kid. He's also 17, I think. I don't know, there's a lot more personality was shown in that first issue than here, but again, different pacing, different comics. Although shit, I think maybe that one was also by Image. Maybe. I don't remember. Yeah. Well, anyway, again, if you've never read this one and you're kind of interested, I don't know, maybe give it a chance. Might interest you. Again, if you like Kirkman's works, or if you want a alternative superhero story, let's put it like that. Well, it's not alternative so far, but definitely doesn't feel like the classic. Alright, folks, so that is it. Let me know, have you read Invincible all the way back in 2003? What did you think about it? Do you like Mr. Curry's art style? Did you like the story? And no spoilers, though, please. And that is it. Now remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!